Welcome to the Life as an Observer podcast. My name is Ryan Bean. I am your host in self-observation. This podcast is an exploration of physical and non-physical self through discussion around yoga, meditation, self-improvement, self-realization, and practices that elevate the mind-body-soul connection. Let's start observing. This episode of Life as an Observer is made possible by patron support. If you'd like to support this program, you can visit patron.podbean.com/lifeasanobserver to learn more. Welcome to another podcast of Life as an Observer. Today, I wanted to just take a short moment to offer a meditation surrounding anxieties and stresses that we have with uncertainty in the world. Before we get to that, I just wanted to take a moment to thank the patrons of the podcast. This is currently an ad-free program, and it is supported strictly by the patrons. If you're interested in that, there is a link in the description where you can get personalized content, monthly gifts, meetups, personal or group meditations, and group breathwork classes. We do those on the Podbean platform, and the link is in the description. In the near future, I have many retreats coming up. I will also put some information about the retreats and workshops in the description of the show notes so that you can get more content. Today's is a very short content. Very short meditation, just something for those who are maybe in a little bit of worry or uncertainty in the world. A nice meditation to assist with that. Find yourself in a place where you're not using any equipment or driving. I suppose you could listen to this while driving, but don't participate fully by closing the eyes, obviously. I was reading just a bunch of quotes from a previous class that I'd done, and I wrote down a bunch of different quotes from different people and stories. And I want to begin by getting us into kind of grounded, and then I'll tell some of those stories as part of the meditation. So as you arrive here, maybe closing your eyes if you're not operating anything, and just simply be. Maybe putting your phone on a no notifications or do not disturb, and allowing your attention to move away from the room that you're in and move inward into the body that you live in. You may begin to notice subtleties as you focus on the breath. As it comes in through your nose, see if you can trace where it goes, and maybe you notice that it's higher in your chest, and maybe it's drawing awareness into the shoulders. And just continue to take these slow breaths, maybe bringing it in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Now as you release just a little bit longer, maybe 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now continue to breathe in. Maybe you bring it in for a count of 4 and release for a count of 6. Just beginning to extend that exhale. And what I want you to do is with your breath, begin to see if you can trace the breath to going to the belly first. Now, I realize there's no lungs in your belly, but there's certainly a diaphragm that separates your abdominal cavity and your thoracic cavity. We want to be able to use that diaphragm to assist in the breathing. Using your nose is also a parasympathetic nervous system trigger, which will allow us to move into a more calm state. So breathing in through your nose for a count of 4, sending it to the belly, let the ribs expand, and then as you release slower than you brought it in. See if you can continue this breath as I tell you this first story. Maybe you begin to visualize a campfire, and we'll say that this was maybe several hundred years ago, because it is a Native American tale that has to do with being outside. So just maybe imagining the atmosphere of maybe 100 years ago or so. And then imagine there is two children, and you can visualize the two children sitting around the fire with their grandfather. And the grandfather is telling the story of two wolves. Now, these wolves have been constantly at battle. It's a daily battle. The one wolf embodies the spirit of fear and anxiety, and sorrow, even the ego, whereas the other wolf embodies that of joy, peace, love, hope, and truth, and even compassion. These two wolves battling constantly for the attention, battling constantly to be right, to be in the forefront. And through the story, one of the grandchildren asks the grandfather, "But grandfather, if they're fighting, who's going to win? There must be a winner. There must be." The grandfather, turning to his grandchild, said, "There certainly is." "Well, who is it? Who is it?" "The winner of this great battle is the wolf that you feed, dear grandson." So as we move through today's meditation, maybe you begin to think about the emotions and the sensations that you're feeding, especially if you're feeling anxious or a little bit stressed. Which emotions are we feeding? Which wolf will win? You see, worry is a very thin stream of fear. It trickles into the mind, and it encourages us to cut channels into which all of the things and thoughts are drained. So, taking that worry away and removing that channel allows us to kind of stay a little bit full, not drained, not emotionally ridden. I was once told that worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow. It only saps today of its joy. Now, as you rest here, still breathing in, maybe this time as your next breath comes in, breathe in for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release slowly for a count of 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath in for 5. Now release for 7. And holding at the bottom for 8. Continue this rhythm of 5 counts in, 7 count release, and an 8 count hold as I continue on our meditation. Dale Carnegie was once quoted as saying, "Our fatigue is often caused not by work, but by worry, frustration, and resentment." The emotions are that wears us out, not necessarily the work that we're faced. Now, sometimes our frustrations and stress come from our jobs, from our relationships, or maintaining relationships. Trying to fulfill the personality. That narrative that we carry with us that has either been assigned to us through our personal exploration, or maybe that narrative has been given by others and what they believe, and you're taking it on as a new suit. Now, when we remove that personality, we go beyond the skin and the bones and how we show up, and we just see ourselves as a soul. Now, as we tap into this, breathing 5 counts in, 7 counts out, and 8 counts in, can you now begin to tap into the sensation of the soul, feeling the belly rise as you breathe in, feeling that release as you exhale, and as you hold, just feeling the heart beating. Not here to finish any stories or create any. but simply here to receive. A poet named Young Pueblo, in one of his poems, said, ask yourself, am I observing the situation accurately, or am I projecting how I feel onto what is happening? Remember, when the body is tired, the mind will often create worries to focus on. The thoughts that are coming now, are they projections? Are they perspective? Or are they truth? Am I observing this situation accurately? As you breathe in, bring in that sensation of feeling an expansion, opening. As you exhale, almost like you're letting it go. Letting go of the idea that you need to control anything. Just here. Observing. Remember, sometimes our body gets worn out, our mind gets worn out by something called burnout. We just work so hard to try to prove ourselves, to fulfill our narratives. Winston Churchill told us that he had many worries. He says, I remember the story of an old man who said on his deathbed that he had a lot of trouble in his life, most of which never happened. You see, we fixate on the things that may happen. Where you are right now, you are safe. You are breathing this calming bottom triangle breath of 5, 7, 8. And you're here to receive inspiration and inspired action. You're here to take just this sacred pause between the events of the personality and the receiving of inspired action to the soul. This may take some practice to differentiate between the two. But you know, if you start adding details, that is coming from the thinking or the analytical mind. When it becomes very general, like go a new way home, or give this person a call, that is from beyond the thinking mind and from the quantum field. Just a gentle reminder to be present. Just a gentle reminder that you're being watched and guided and led to your highest self. Now, as we conclude this meditation, I want to offer just an affirmation that may help you in your day. Maybe just keeping the eyes closed here. And I want us just to take a giant breath in, kind of slowing down our bottom triangle breath, just a giant breath in through the nose, and then slowly release. Maybe another breath in, just expanding, letting that sensation go through the body. See, as we take those deep breaths, we start to radiate chemicals like melatonin and serotonin, really feel good in the body. Just taking those longer, deeper breaths. You have the opportunity to become a pillar of calm for your community, for your home, for your workplace. Taking time out is not necessarily a treatment. It's just a sacred pause for uncertain times. This uncertainty is scary. This is time for you to tune into your body. Putting your body at rest so that you can activate the mind. Taking another deep breath in. And slowly release. Now, as we conclude here, I want you to see if you can, maybe just seeing these words as they pass by, or if you'd like to say them out loud, you're welcome to. May I be healthy. And just take a deep breath in. And slowly release. May I be happy. Giant breath in, expand the belly, almost like you're bringing those words in. And as you exhale, you're extending that sensation to the quantum field, just letting it radiate. May I be safe. Take a breath in. And slowly release. May I feel peace. Letting that come into the body with a giant breath. And releasing the sensation to the field. And you can repeat this over and over. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I feel peace. Slowly coming back into the room that you're in, maybe just by opening your eyes or maybe even visualizing the room first, feeling the sensations of the air, maybe beginning to use the senses to notice or hear or smell areas of the space, and just arriving back into the body. Maybe feeling a little less anxious, maybe feeling a little bit more calm. And knowing that you can come back to these 4 statements at any time, using the breath, using that bottom triangle of 5, 7, and 8, and offering the metta meditation as a way to draw those qualities or those feelings closer to you. Thanks for joining today on this short meditation on life as an observer. We have lots more content coming up very soon. Very excited to share that with you. Thanks for joining for the meditation, and know that we have the Patreon page. I also do weekly meditations on Insight Timer app. You can follow me at Ryan Bean Yoga on all the social media sites. That's where I usually advertise retreats and so forth. So I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys more. Love it if you would leave a review. Leave a review if you liked this content on your Apple Podcasts or wherever. It really helps take us up the charts for our for just getting guests and getting new people in. And if you have an idea or you have something that you think fits really well with life as an observer and you'd like to share it, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me on my Instagram. Send me a direct message at Ryan Bean Yoga. I would love to chat with you if it's a topic that we'd like to talk about, or if you have a book that you'd like to share that you think my audience would be interested in. Reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. Until then, keep observing, friends, and share your light to the world.